Hello,
Hi,
I'm Evelyn. What is your name?
Cornelius Cornwall. My friends call me Corny.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so before we get started, I just kind of want to talk about the sessions in general. All of this is basically for you. So whatever you feel comfortable telling me, tell me. If you, never mind. No, it's okay. It's on. Okay, never mind. All right. So feel free to talk about whatever you want to. If it's a real issue you're facing, we can talk about it. If you just want to talk about the weather, whatever you want to talk about, I'm here for you. There are a few things. Everything will stay confidential except for a couple things. So if you tell me you're going to hurt yourself, you're going to hurt someone else, that's something I have to report. If you talk to me about, a child or someone disabled, either being abused or neglected, I also have to report that. So, are you comfortable with that? Do you feel like
Yes.
you can move forward? Okay, perfect. So, go ahead, tell me what you came in here for today.
I believe that I am addicted to alcohol.
Okay, so talk about that a little bit more.
Well, I was in a fraternity in college,
Mm-hmm.
and afterwards, when I graduated, I went through a breakup. I was away from friends and family. I didn't really have much of a support system. And so I just dabbled in drinking every day after work. Never during work, but after work.
Okay.
So,
How do you feel that it's affected your life?
well, it's definitely affected my work. And, I get done with work throughout the week on my days off. That's all I do. I'm motivated. It's affecting my work because I've come in tired or hungover, I guess. A little bit with my friends and family as well, because that's all my friends do with me.
Right.
And during family events, I'll pregame.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So during events, hanging out with friends, you feel like you're just drunk the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Has it affected any other parts of your life? Have you ever been in trouble legally or?
I did have one DUI.
Yeah.
That was after hanging out with a friend. I decided I was going to drive because I wanted to sleep in my own bed. And it was a bad mistake, but I haven't had any other occurrences. So.
Are there any particular things that make you drink more?
You just kind of search for them, I guess, because when, there's a game on, you want to kind of not necessarily celebrate it, but kind of, dress up the occasion a little.
Right.
In bad days at work, you find excuses, I think. So, nothing really sets it off. I think because when it started, it was because I went through that breakup.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have any other way to cope at the time. So I don't think it's ruined relationships or friendships, but
Maybe it's not helping.
Yeah.
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 As far as with the drinking, have you seen anyone about it? I mean, I know you said you got the DUI. Did they require you to go through any kind of program, or it was just like?
It was not court ordered.
Slapping them on. Okay.
Yeah. I haven't seen anybody for it, but I don't know. It gets to a point where you're like, that's all you're doing is drinking.
Right.
So that's why I feel like I am one. That's why I've admitted it.
Right. That's the first step.
11 to go.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're at a point where you would want to see help?
Yeah.
Like join a group or?
Probably a group. I like to just hear stories, I guess.
Right.
That would be the help. AA meetings or whatnot. But I don't know how any of that works. So.
Okay. Well, that's something we can definitely look into. As far as your support system, talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, I got my girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's very nice. She knows how I get. So when we're hanging out and together, we don't do any drinking. We always keep it clean, but I live way far away from her, so when she's not around, I usually tend to fall on it.
Okay.
So, um, but she's always great. She always checks on me and everything, but she understands who I am as well.
What about your family?
Same kind of thing with my family. My family also, with my mother and my father are both addicts, so they did a pretty good job. If they did it during my childhood, they kept it quiet. But as soon as me and my sister turned 21, we just saw it all the time.
Right.
So,
Also,
my mom, came back. You can smell it on her breath. She was a little, loopy. And my dad just drinks in front of us. He don't really care, but I don't know. I think when I was growing up, it was pretty. I don't remember seeing any beer cans, or alcohol or anything. So maybe that's the reason. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, my dad will just drink in front, and he doesn't care. But it seems like sometimes they try to hide it. After we turn 21, they're like, oh, now our kids can drink. So I wouldn't say encourages it, but doesn't help it either.
right.
So usually when I see them, we're all drinking, either at their place or at a bar or whatever it may be.
So you say you are ready to seek help, and you do understand that it's a lifestyle change.
Mm-hmm.
So you say your friends, your family, they're very big into drinking. Do you think that they would be supportive of you
Of course.
going to a program, or?
Yeah, of course. And they're the kind of people I think that would probably understand. It depends on the sibling. If they wanted to go and, go to a bar or whatever, they might just, not necessarily not invite me, but give me an understanding, hey, we're drinking. So if you want to join, just a heads up. I think it'd be difficult for my friends because they like to go out a lot. So it'd be kind of difficult with them. And but I'm sure they would understand if I said, I want to take time away, enjoy not necessarily going to the bar and getting drunk, or going to their place and drinking. So it would be a hell of a life change.
Right.
It would be very, very difficult, but I want to feel healthier. I want to be more active. I want to, it's been going on since right after college, so it's been like 5 years. So
you feel like it prevents you from being kind of who you want to be, at least, like excelling?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting tiresome. Right. And I know, I don't want to feel like I have to drink in order to do something.
Right. No, that makes sense.
So, yeah, I mean, there's times where I go to bed, wake up, start drinking, and throughout the day, take naps or whatever, but still go through it. Save money, too, obviously.
Yeah.
Spend on it. But, yeah, it's a pretty big problem at this point. It's just enough's enough. Getting clean somehow, so.
Right. Well, good things are, at least you have a support system.
Mm-hmm.
Your girlfriend, family.
My amazing girlfriend.
Yes. And it seems like you have people who at least are accepting of you wanting to do a lifestyle change. So that's excellent.
I don't think it's ever ruined any relationships, my alcoholism, but I think stopping could possibly. And that's one thing that scares me. Because I don't, all of my friends like to go out, and I know, so just like losing time with them, because they're not going to make that change with me. It's not like, well, Corny's quitting, so we're all going to quit. It's not going to be like that. I know it's not going to be. So,
right.
I don't also want to be that's one thing that fears me, is losing friendships.
Right.
Because I think my family will be 100% understanding. Of course, my girlfriend will be as well. But,
your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's a real fear. So I think definitely going into it, it's something that you have to talk to them about. your expectations with them. That's something you kind of have to talk about.
Yeah, I don't think they'll probably encourage that, but I just think, of course they're not going to say, well, we're not going to be friends with you, and we're going to disconnect. It's going to be more like, I think it's going to be more, hey, we're going out. I don't know if you want to go out or not, and then I don't go out, and then you're just missing time, just I guess fades away. So
maybe a big thing would be finding things that you guys could do that isn't so heavily
dependent on
on alcohol.
Yeah, which that's the thing too. I would say like we like going to games, going out in public, but everything that we usually do is kind of revolved around drinking too.
Right. So. Well, that's also something that they'll probably talk about in AA. I understand not wanting to lose friends, and that's a big fear, especially when it's your activities with each other are so centric around alcohol. But at the same time, you have to do what's right for you, which also props to you for actually recognizing this issue. It takes a lot to accept it, number one, and put your pride, I guess, away enough to get help. So
well, it's becoming. I mean, you don't really remember days or what you did the day before. Everything becomes foggy, so it's just I don't want to live through life like that. So, yeah, I mean, if I lose friendships over, it's going to hurt, which I'm afraid I'll turn back to the problem I have now. But I mean, if that's what they're all about, I mean, I guess I'll learn with them. So,
right.
But yeah, I'm not feeling well. Feeling, stomach pain, head throbbing during days, all day long at work, not being able to go 10 hours focused.
Right.
There's no caffeine in the world that can cure that. So.
Yeah. So it's affecting a lot of your life, really, most of the day, because even if you're not drinking, it's affecting you when you're at work or somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, I know you had said something about, with your girlfriend in college and breaking up, and that was kind of your coping. Do you have other ways of coping with things, or do you feel like alcohol is your...
I would like to say no, but it's the one I fall back on right away. I do other things that, like, of course, that when I was working, when that all happened, working made it better. But it gets to a time when you get back and you're back home from work, there's not a lot that gets my mind off of it. I'd like to play video games, but, when you're sitting there and it just kind of repeats through your mind, it's hard to get, unless I'm working, I can't separate after that, so.
Right.
But, I don't know, I have other friends that's how we stay connected, is through gaming. I don't know why I almost put it in parentheses. It's gaming.
Yeah.
And, guys that I knew since high school that I'm not the closest of friends with, but, sometimes when you talk through and everybody starts talking about their relationships, it's hard to get away from it.
Right.
So.
Makes sense.
And I don't like country music.
Yeah.
To cope with it. So.
Okay. Well, I feel like this was a good session, at least for opening up, and you told me... To start, yeah, and you told me quite a lot. So winding down from that, pretty much why you came here is because you want help as far as maybe finding a group to join.
Well, yeah, and just to sit and talk.
Right.
Having somebody there for me always. I know of some sort of thing called, like, I think it's a sponsor or something. I don't know much about it, like I said, but I've watched Shameless. So
yeah.
There was mention of, I know there's something about a sponsor, but somebody I can talk to who's been through something similar would help, of course.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. So next time you come, if you want to look up some groups that you may be interested in joining, I can bring along some resources as far as what groups you can join. Let me know what days, times, whatever works for you. And then also maybe writing down for yourself what you would talk to with your friends about as far as, your expectations from them while you're going through this process. Is that something you think you'd be interested in?
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, I think we're good to go. If you're good to go, unless you want to talk about something else.
I think that's a good start.
Good. Okay. All right then. I'll see you later.
Thank
It's
you.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Corny.
Mm-hmm.
I did that last time too.
Boom.
See, that wasn't so bad. Oh, are you kidding me?
I was wondering.
It's still recording.
Wow. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Yes, it is.